A fine ooften to you all. My name is Craig Weiner from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I am the author of Mystical Force and Liberator of the People's Guard, and this is my Tellwell Testimonial. Insert title card here. Why did I want to publish my book through Tellwell? I've been writing for decades, probably since I was in high school or something, and I'd just been writing in my leisure time, and I always had a passion for writing or an overactive imagination. Take your pick. And I just wanted to finally decided, you know what, to just take a chance. I had a warehouse job, and one Thanksgiving, my aunt told me that what I'm making won't be enough to support myself. So I've always wanted to write, and I read the book Conversations with God, and it said life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So I decided I'm going to take the risk, and I'm going to go out there and publish my stuff and finally start living the dream, so to speak. I chose Tellwell because it's self-assisted publishing as opposed to the traditional method. So I didn't have to go through the whole thing of submitting manuscripts to publisher after publisher and getting rejection letters. But more importantly, what really appealed to me was the fact that I own the copyright. I mean, I didn't want to put my work out to someone else and just have them change it around, do whatever the hell they wanted, and I had no say over it. And worse yet, they own the copyright, so they make all the money off of it, and I just get a small pittance from that. I guess the most meaningful part of publishing my book was the fact that I had published a book. I mean, these were ideas that I just had just sitting on my computer that only I knew about, other than, maybe the odd friend or relative who I might have mentioned something to. But to actually see my book out there, to actually hold a physical copy of my books, not to mention like going online to like Amazon or Chapters, Barnes and Noble, whoever, and seeing my book listed, seeing my name there, the author, that was, there's honestly nothing I can say in my life that has ever come close to that. So just the idea of being able to get my ideas out there, have other people read them, and, the feedback I've gotten from, some reviews and, family and friends who, oh, I read your book and, I loved it. Can't wait for the next volume to come out. And for me, that was really the most meaningful part, is that getting the word out and getting the message there and seeing it resonate with people. The experience I had with Tellwell was great. All the people that were involved with from the beginning right up to the publishing process. I mean, the first person I spoke to was fellow author and my dear friend Jennifer Chapin. I apologize if I've mispronounced your last name, but she was the one who got the ball rolling and got everything started. And once the process began, my project manager, Allison, was the first project manager on the first book. She, I think, went on maternity leave and was later reassigned to like editing. She was put in a different department. So my next project manager for Mystical Force Volume 2, Eden, took over. I've been there ever since. And a lot of a big shout out as well to my editor, Teresa, who has been a phenomenal help in refining my books and crossing the T's and dotting the I's and lowercase j's too, I should point out. And the most meaningful part was when I got back the manuscript for Liberator Volume 1, how she mentioned in her notes that my writing had really improved since Mystical Force Volume 1. For reference, Mystical Force Volume 1 came out in September of 2020. Liberator Volume 1 came out in September of 2022. So about 2 years there. My previous book, not this one that just came out, Liberator Volume 2, Mystical Force Volume 5, which came out back in June, Teresa commented how she was becoming emotionally invested in the characters, which for a writer, what could be a better compliment than that? Because if I'm writing something and you as the reader are watching all this stuff happen to the characters, the heartbreak, the tragedy, the triumphs, the success, and you feel absolutely nothing, it doesn't resonate with you at all, you don't really care what happens to the characters, then that's a sign that I've obviously failed as a writer. So hearing back that she was becoming emotionally invested in the characters, that's really the ultimate goal of a writer is to make you feel and make you sympathize and relate to these characters. What did I enjoy most about working with Tellwell? Technically, I think I answered that in the previous question without realizing it. So that was a goof on my part. I should have gone ahead and read all the questions first before I started recording. So that one's on me. But just to restate, honestly, the most enjoyable part, aside from actually seeing my books out there on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and other retailers, and like having like a physical copy and seeing other people with physical copies. I remember coming into work one day, and actually twice. Once the owner, the job that I have, the warehouse job that I work at right now, he bought a copy of my book, so that was quite thrilling. And another day, one of my coworkers also bought a copy, and she asked me to autograph it for her. So that was one of the things I enjoyed. Also, as I mentioned before, when I got back the notes from my editor, Teresa, for Mystical Force Volume 5, saying how she was becoming emotionally invested in the characters, as I had mentioned before, that's essentially what you want to hear as a writer. If people are reading your books and seeing what's happening to these characters, their struggles, their tragedies, their whatever, and you're feeling absolutely nothing, then I've obviously failed as a writer. So to hear that she's becoming emotionally invested in them is that's the kind of thing that a writer wants to hear. That, and also the notes I got back for when I published Liberator Volume 1, saying how my writing had really improved. So yeah, for that I am grateful. And the whole experience with generally with Tellwell has been an excellent one. If you are looking to start your career as a writer and you don't want to go the traditional route of letting a publishing company own your work, do whatever they want to it, and you have no control over that, then I would definitely recommend Tellwell. If your only concern is, I just want to make a huge ton of money off of whatever I'm writing, I don't care about anything else, then by all means, you can find another publishing company, assuming that they don't reject you. That's always the double-edged sword. Everybody says they're looking for talented writers, and then they find every excuse under the sun to say no for whatever reason. So with Tellwell, I didn't get that. So if you want to be involved in the whole process, if you want to, have your say and maintain your control, and more importantly, if you want people who are going to be helping support you all the way, and any of those questions that you're not sure about, well, is definitely the way to go. I would strongly recommend to any of you potential new authors out there looking to start your literary career, I would definitely recommend going with Tellwell. I made that choice years ago, and haven't looked back since. I am eternally grateful to them for everything they've done. So I'm happy to give my video testimony here. So thank you for letting me say my piece, and please buy copies of my books, Mystical Force and Liberators, the People Guard. I need the money. Please, please, please buy copies of my books. And don't forget to give them good reviews too.
Hi, Craig. It's Monica here from Tellwell in Victoria, BC. I watched your video testimonial and I wanted to thank you for taking the time to respond to those questions and provide your thoughtful answers. It was really a joy to watch, and I really love hearing everyone's stories, especially yours. And what a meaningful journey this has been for you, taking the stories that have been in your head and putting them to paper. And it sounds like it really was a lifelong dream come true for you. And really special to hear the feedback about the editor sharing with you how long your writing had come over the years, since you have so many volumes out with your book. So that must have been really incredible to hear and see kind of your evolution as a writer and as an author. So thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah, very, very cool. And I'm sure the joy of seeing your book in print for the first time must have been, really incredible. So yeah, I appreciate that, and wishing you very Merry Christmas, a happy holidays, a wonderful festive season, and And of course, lots of support and celebration in your writing endeavors. And so looking forward to seeing the next book out from you whenever that may be. Take care.